Good evening and welcome to Child and Family Resources Shine Educator of the Year Awards Gala. I'm Michael Reynolds, President of Child and Family Resources Board of Trustees. And on behalf of all of us at CFR, I'd like to thank you for joining us this evening. The purpose of our award is to acknowledge educators who exemplify the spirit of CFR's missions and values and whose professional practice and advocacy for the profession are deemed exemplary. In keeping with our mission to support the development of children and strengthen families, we recognize educators as essential partners. It's in the spirit that Child and Family Resources has created the Shine Award: serves, helps, inspires, nurtures, and excels. These past 12 months have challenged us all in many ways. Can anyone really describe life in a pandemic year? Does anyone remember how life was prior to the pandemic? Obviously, this past year has been defined by COVID-19. And tonight, we hope to create a collective experience that supersedes the bumpy journey that we've been on. Tonight, we gather to celebrate three exceptional educators, three hometown heroes who remained steadfast in the commitment to the profession. Our 2020 Shine Educator of the Year Higher Education awardee, Dr. Christopher Capuano. Our 2020 Shine Educator of the Year School District awardee, Mr. Joseph Pizzo. Our 2020 Educator of the Year Community-Based Early Childhood Education awardee, Ms. Stephanie Wilson. This evening, we're joined by esteemed guest, Senator Anthony Bucco, Commissioner Director Stephen Shaw, and Assemblywoman Ora Dunn. I'd also like to acknowledge the generosity of our luminous sponsor, John Johnson Automotive Group, as well as our sponsors highlighted in the evening's program. Without your support, this event would not be possible. And a special thank you to Montclair State for allowing us to use their Zoom platform. The link to our silent auction is in the chat box. In the beginning, we'll close at 7:30. Microphones for all attendees will be muted during the event. Please use the chat box for any questions or comments. Now, without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to Senator Anthony Bucco, who is going to get our gala started with a proclamation.
Thank you, Michael. It is certainly an honor to be with everyone tonight to recognize three outstanding educators. I want to thank Child and Family Resources for this opportunity. As you stated, this has certainly been a trying year, and every educator was put to the task to come up with a way to keep our kids educated in a difficult situation. If we all look back at our educations, there are those educators, those one or two teachers that stand out in our minds, that help shape our education. They were the ones that we connected with. They were the ones that were always there. They were dedicated. They were motivated. They were part of the educational community. They loved their job, and it showed. And the children that they taught recognized that. But tonight, Child and Family Resources recognizes three educators that certainly fit that description. They serve, they help, they inspire, they nurture, and they excel. Quite frankly, they shine. Tonight, I'm honored to be able to recognize Dr. Christopher Capuano, President of Fairleigh Dickinson University. I had the honor and the privilege of attending his swearing in as president, and he impressed me from the very beginning. He has served the university for over 25 years in many roles, and helped lead the strategic planning process for the university that brought it where it is today. Joseph Pizzo, middle school teacher from Chester. How hard could it be this year to be a middle school teacher with COVID-19 and having to teach your children virtually and in person. He's shined throughout this entire year and serves on the New Jersey Council of Teachers of English Board. And he's done so much work in that area of middle school education. And then there's Stephanie Wilson, preschool supervisor at Children on the Green in Morristown. She oversees the preschool team members, classrooms, and was selected Employee of the Year this year. She was trained by the ARC, which allows her to work with special needs students. How special is that? So I'm honored tonight, along with Assemblywoman Dunn and her colleague, Assemblyman Bergen, to present each of the honorees with resolutions recognizing their outstanding careers in education and knowing that it's only the beginning. So I know that Assemblywoman Dunn will be presenting some of the resolutions later, but we have them, and we look forward to getting them to your honorees tonight. And I look forward to a great event tonight. And I thank you for all that you do to put the spotlight on our great educators. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you, Senator Bucco. So now, to get our evening kicked off, I know it's a little bit different of a platform this year doing this virtual, but we still wanted to make it a fun evening. So I'd like to introduce Winter Long, and they're just going to play a short set for us before we move into the presentation of the awards. So without any further ado, Winter Long.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Got this feeling I just can't lose. Ever since the day that I met you, feels like a sunny day in the month of May. My head is spinning round and round. I can't keep my feet on the ground. You got me reeling from this feeling. Feel like I'm falling, falling for you. You're making me crazy, crazy for you. Come on, baby, do you love me too? I got this feeling I just can't lose. Ever since the day that I met you, baby, come on and take a chance on a new romance. I hear you laugh and it makes me smile. I knew you were the one, baby, all the while. I think that I love you, yes I do. I feel like I'm falling, falling for you. You're making me crazy, crazy for you. Come on, baby, say you love me too. I feel like I'm falling, falling for you. You're making me crazy, so crazy for you. Come on, baby, say you love me too. Cause I love you.
Congratulations to all the awardees this evening. Your commitment is remarkable. Thank you.
Thank you, Winter Long. I have to be honest, I thought I could pull this off talking to myself, but it feels very awkward. So good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being with us this evening. My name is Rebecca Zaidel. I am the Executive Director of Child and Family Resources, and I am super excited to celebrate our 3 incredible awardees this evening. Educators are arguably the most important members of our society. They give students purpose, set them up for success as citizens in our world, and inspire in them a drive to do well and succeed in life. Educators are that critical person that makes someone ready for their future. Great educators have the ability to change lives for the better. We carry what we are taught at a young age throughout the rest of our lives. We use what we have learned to influence society. Everyone knows that our youngest citizens will become tomorrow's influential leaders. And educators have an influence in the most impressionable years, whether that is in community-based early childhood education, a school district, higher education. In reality, educators have the most important job in the world. Those who have an impact on the children of society have the power to change lives, not just for those children themselves, but for everyone. It is for this reason Child and Family Resources is proud to bestow the Shine Educator of the Year Award. We are committed to building a legacy that memorializes educators. To begin the presentation of our 2020 awards, I am honored to introduce Morris County's Commissioner Director, Stephen Shaw.
Thank you, Rebecca. Thanks for inviting me again to speak at your annual event. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here this evening. I'm also honored to be joining Senator Bucco and Assemblywoman Dunn, along with everybody from Child and Family Resources tonight. I want to welcome everybody joining us and say congratulations to all of tonight's award winners. On behalf of the Morris County Board of County Commissioners, takes me a little bit to get used to saying that, and all the residents of Morris County, I want to thank Child and Family Resources for your focus on our greatest human resource, our children, because they really are our future. The programs and services that CFR offers to support the development of children and families in our county, and your efforts to partner with government and schools and other nonprofit organizations is greatly appreciated and admired. CFR, you've been doing this, serving Morris County children and their families for 49 years. That's an incredible amount of time. And Rebecca, I want to thank you and your team for creating these awards for some very, very truly deserving people. You know, the challenges that educators everywhere have had to face over the past year are something I think nobody ever imagined. So those of you that dedicate your lives to teaching our young people, to opening their minds to ideas and knowledge, have a difficult time as it is connecting with them when you're standing up in a classroom, let alone in the virtual environment we've been faced with. You truly deserve honors for what you do, especially in these crucial times. It's even more challenging for those of you working as Child and Family Resources does with very young children who have other obstacles to overcome in life. Research cited by CFR and Grow New Jersey Kids program indicates that children who are in quality child care and early learning programs when they are young are better prepared for kindergarten with better reading skills, more math skills, and larger vocabularies. But the data released through the National Institute of Health since the pandemic hits indicates that we are now faced an unprecedented challenge to early children education programs because of what COVID-19 is doing, not only to the children, but to the adults who are taking care of them and those responsible for maintaining these important early learning programs. Experts have noted that COVID-19 not only sidelined the usual childhood activities we would expect, such as going to school, playing with friends, and interacting with family and educators, but it's also interrupted the emotional, social, and educational benefits children get from those activities. You know, the impact that this is going to have on our children has yet to be fully understood, but I think we can agree that it's going to be significant. We all no doubt will be turning to all of you, our educators, to guide the education and socialization of our youngest in a post-pandemic academic world, whatever that might look like. It may seem like an impossible task, but we know that you're up to it. And however this unfolds, I think we can all agree that we're more confident in a positive result with people like those we honor tonight being involved and leading. And with that, allow me to introduce the first honoree, Dr. Christopher A. Capodanno, President of Fairleigh Dickinson University. As your program noted, Dr. Capuano has been involved at the university in leadership roles for more than 25 years. He was instrumental in its full accreditation with the Accreditation Council for Pharmacy Education, and he has been very involved with the development of several other key programs at Fairleigh Dickinson. So without further delay, I give to you Shine Higher Education awardee, Dr. Capuano. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator, Commissioner, Assemblywoman, and other distinguished guests for your warm welcome and kind remarks. And good evening, everyone. First off, I'd like to thank the CFR Board of Trustees for this recognition. I am deeply touched and honored to be the recipient of the Shine 2020 Educator of the Year Award for higher education. As someone who works and lives in Morris County, I am grateful that an organization like CFR, an organization that provides such critical services to children and families in our community, especially during a challenging period as this past year, would recognize a lifelong educator like myself. I am also honored to be among a list of distinguished honorees that includes Dr. Anthony Iacono, who many of you know leads the County College of Morris and who was the recipient of this award last year. I consider Dr. Iacono to not only be a trusted colleague, but also a good friend. As college presidents, Dr. Iacono and I are active members of the New Jersey President's Council, which is a strong advocacy group that works closely with the Secretary of Higher Education in the state of New Jersey to advance important higher education initiatives in our state, including initiatives that are of significant importance to students and families in Morris County. In addition, like CFR, Dr. Iacono and I have been working very hard to increase access and affordability to quality services and higher education for more students and families in our community and in neighboring communities, especially students and families from underrepresented and underprivileged groups. As a psychologist and lifelong educator, I can assure you that the values and mission of CRF, include the Shine Gala values of serve, help, inspire, nurture, and excel, and are values that are not only near and dear to my heart, but have guided my work over the years. It is for this reason especially that this recognition is so meaningful to me. As I often say, and I am often quoted as saying, nothing, and I mean nothing, is more rewarding in life than helping and inspiring others to achieve their goals and fulfill their dreams. And like many who work for and support CFR, I have been fortunate to have had such a rewarding career and to have had instilled in me such important values. To underscore my appreciation for this recognition this evening and my lifelong desire to nurture and help others excel in what they do, I will be donating my $2,000 check in CFR's name to an important scholarship campaign at FDU that is designed to support students and families who are in need of assistance during this very difficult period. It is my hope that we will be able to identify a student and family that has benefited from services provided by CFR in the past and who will now be able to continue their studies and pursue their goal of a college education because of the generosity and mission of CFR and all who support CFR. In my concluding remarks this evening, I want to thank the CFR trustees again for recognizing my work and honoring my lifetime commitment to service and excellence in higher education. I also want to congratulate my fellow honorees this evening, Mr. Pizzo and Ms. Wilson, for their very outstanding service and deserving recognitions. I wish them and everyone present this evening the very best as we continue our struggles in overcoming the challenges the pandemic has created and normalizing our lives. Thank you again, and Godspeed to everyone.
Thank you and congratulations. And I wish that I could be with you in person to present you with the physical awards. But I know that given the environment, we're making the best of it. So congratulations. And with that, I'd like to introduce Assemblywoman Dunn.
Good evening. Thank you, Rebecca. It really is an honor for me to be a part of this celebration. I enjoyed attending it last year. And I swore I was going to wear that dress again, and I will. But it really is a joy that we're adapting, and we're here tonight together, gathering, and enjoy. Thank you to the band. That was beautiful music. And I, like I said, I'm honored to be here, and I know I'm going to start preaching to the choir about the importance of education, but maybe tonight we can just sing as the choir over the importance of education. I have devoted a career to education policy and spent a lot of time focused on early childhood education, because we know, as our speakers before have noted, research shows over and over again how important that investment is for a child, that the trajectory of their life and their ability to be lifelong learners. And we know that early child educators also help parents identify a child's learning style and ability, and also can find the appropriate mediations that occur at the right age, so we can close some of those gaps. We know that the last year, everything was so upended that we've never seen a classroom look like this. I think we see the light at the end of the tunnel, that classrooms, we will be back in September, and it'll get a little bit back to normal, but we know that it's going to take some time for children to be back playing together, eating together, and really fully integrated. So I want to let you know that I'm here in the Assembly to do all that I can to support those efforts. You deserve it. School attendance has been very important to me, and because we know that we've lost a lot of the sets of eyes. Our teachers, our bus drivers, our service employees that are there for the children day in and day out. And I know you're thinking of them every day. I ran into a custodian one day, and he said, "Oh, please, I can't wait to get back and clean up the messes that they make." So we're eager for that, and just know that I'm busy working in Trenton on legislation to make sure that you have enough resources and the support to do the really God's work, and then also to do it in this environment with the additional challenges. Particularly, we know childcare centers have been really saddled with the lower classroom size, the smaller classroom size, the PPE demands, and all the other health screening protocols. So, which is why I've introduced some legislation to make sure that those resources and the funding is there, based on enrollment, not attendance. And I do have to give you another shout out, Rebecca, for really assisting me in that effort and really being the expert in my ear to work on that. So I will, not without further ado, I know I have the blessing to introduce Mr. Pizzo. I see you in the Hollywood Squares. I think I might have to move the screen. I have to see your face. There you are. Mr. Pizzo, as you know, is a middle school teacher. one of the toughest. We know the retention rate for middle school teachers isn't always high. They may jump to high school, but you've been doing it for quite some time, and we had the pleasure to meet about a year ago, again virtually, when you were first awarded the Educator of the Year award. So for those of you who don't know a little about Joe, if you give me a few minutes, I'd like to talk about Joe. He is very generous and goes out of his way to give his students the best opportunities. He went after a grant from the Chester Education Foundation to have a published author and illustrator in residency at his school for a week to brainstorm book and story ideas with students, one of whom has written her own novel. He has recorded podcasts, written blogs, books, and poetry, made promotional and educational videos, and started a group for language art educators that generated a global following. His students have learned so much more from him than just academics. They have learned how important it is to live proactive lives and make other people's lives better, especially the people around them. And, really, I just want to say it's about relationship and engaging your students. And I know all of you really need to be celebrated tonight for continuing that under this great crisis that we've experienced for over the last year. So thank you again. And Mr. Pizzo, I promise I will get you the resolution. It's here waiting for you. For many of you may not know, my district office is located in Chester. So we will make sure we get that to you down the road at the Chester Middle School. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm humbled by the kindness that has been shown to me all evening. I would be remiss if I did not thank my parents, Francis and Anna Pizzo. Their unwavering support for me throughout my life's journey is the main reason for any success that I have been able to achieve. Mom and Dad, you may not be here physically with me to share this honor, but I know that you're watching from a special cloud in heaven. Let me invite all of you here today at this celebration to take a moment or two with me to reflect on the way my journey as an English teacher began. Mom and Dad, please bear with me. You've heard these stories before. While awaiting the arrival of the professor of my college math class during my freshman year, I was able to help two students who had struggled with the assignment given at the conclusion of the previous class. This ad hoc tutoring session made me feel rewarded, and the thought of teaching my own students took shape positively in my mind. 4 years later, after my practicum, student teaching, and on-campus tutoring experiences, I graduated from college. Next, I served a year as a graduate assistant at Trenton State College, which is now known as the College of New Jersey, and then taught 8th grade English in Middlesex. At the end of the school year, I returned to college to finish my master's degree. 2 days after completing my comprehensive exam, I began my new position, teaching English to my students in grades 7 and 8. I am presently in my 46th year in Chester and 47th year overall. When I am asked for the reason I continue to teach instead of putting up my feet and relaxing, I answer without hesitation. I love what I do, and I especially love my students and my Chester colleagues and community. Coming to school has never been a dreaded chore for me. Rather, it is always exciting to be with my students and to watch them begin to develop into accomplished writers and mature young ladies and gentlemen. I enjoy letting my students know that paperwork is not the attractive part of my job. Instead, the attractive part is the opportunity to watch each of my students grow into writers who will compose with a balanced blend of logic, sound, intention, structure, and most importantly, heart. I am a strong believer in the idea that learning must have two major components. Effective learning most often blends the elements of fun with the fundamentals. It was Plato who was one of the first scholars to understand that all learning has an emotional basis. Einstein understood that creativity is intelligence, having fun. Here's a great way to validate the wisdom of these two scholars. Think of the person who makes you feel the most comfortable and safe in your life. Picture that person in your mind. The positive traits of that individual are many. And I'm sure that those traits include an encouraging personality, a willingness to listen, a minimum amount of judgmental reactions, an appropriate amount of praise, and an appreciation of that which makes you the person who you are. Now, think of the best teacher you have ever had. Once again, picture that person in your mind. The positive traits of that individual are also many. I'll bet that your best teacher was encouraging, was a good listener, didn't pass judgment on you every day, gave you encouragement and praise, and accepted the differences of everyone in your class. These qualities of your best teacher are also very similar to the qualities of the person who makes you feel the most comfortable and safe. Hence, we may conclude that your best teacher is someone who is not simply teaching you the curriculum. Rather, your best teacher is someone who is inspiring you, supporting you, and encouraging you to learn not only facts, but also the significance of these facts in our lives. As Dr. Maurice Elias from Rutgers University so often says, we must prepare our children for the tests of life, not a life of tests. I have been fortunate throughout my career to work with some of the finest students and colleagues in any school, anywhere in the world. My students provide me with daily inspiration as they truly make a difference in the world. Let me share with you 2 accomplishments that rank among the many that my students have achieved. The first accomplishment took place after the tragedy of the terrorist attacks of 9/11. One of the dads in the community, who was also a New York, New Jersey Port Authority policeman, was lost while saving lives during the attacks. Soon after, my students and I read the short story Zebra by Chaim Potok. The story deals with an artist who's also a teacher. It seems that this gentleman had lost a best friend while they were both in a helicopter crash during the Vietnam War. The artist teacher finds a special student in his summer school class that the artist is teaching. And the artist inspires the student to discover a special talent while the student learns how to manage better a physical challenge. With this story as inspiration, my students created a memorial garden for the dad whom we lost on 9/11. They found Mr. Vichetti, a landscaper who donated his time, his workers' time, and all the necessary materials to build a memorial garden in memory of Mr. Greg John Froner's service, courage, and subsequent passing on 9/11. The garden continues to stand in Chubb Park in Chester as a tribute both to Mr. Froner and to all of the heroes of 9/11. The second story deals with one of my students' poets. As a class, we had read Lois Lowry's novel, The Giver. At the conclusion of the novel, color is reintroduced to the dystopian society. To extend the literary metaphor, my students wrote color poems. My student Michael wanted to change his original color poem to a poem about the American flag because, as Michael had said to me, I'm just not feeling it, man. I've written about the colors red and white, but I'm just not feeling it. I want to write about the American flag. You know, red, white, and blue. So I encouraged him to do so. Michael's poem spoke about red as a fiery explosion cascading throughout the sky. He depicted white as a melange of colors in opalescent form, while he portrayed blue as waves filled with the sorrow of 1,000 sailors. Michael's poem was so passionate and so descriptive that his own mother had doubts that he could actually write such an amazing piece of poetry. How did Michael's passion shine through? Along with a blog that I had written to explain the project, Michael's poem was featured on the homepage of the website of the U.S. Office of Veterans Affairs on July 4th, 2016. It was also featured by the NEA Foundation and NCTE. In addition, Michael was honored by Congressman Lance, who presented him with a certificate and a flag that had been flown over the Capitol building in Washington, D.C. As you can see, my students are the ones who shine, serve, help, inspire, nurture, and excel. It is their dedication that serves to drive my dedication. Moreover, I am so fortunate to teach in a school district in which learning is acknowledged as a combination of a personal and an academic activity. Furthermore, the arts are valued. To add a bit more perspective, I would like to quote a colleague of mine who often reminds me that we may teach English, but most importantly, we teach children. I would like to leave you with this thought. When most individuals hear the phrase, those that can do, they complete the phrase by saying, those that can't teach. Actually, that's not the way the phrase was originally spoken by the great philosopher and teacher, Aristotle. However, Aristotle's actual quote is just a bit different than the pejorative one with which we are familiar. Aristotle actually said, those that can, do. Those that understand, teach. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time and your attention this evening. Most importantly, thank you for all of the care that you are showing every day to help to make this world a much more safe and secure place for children. May all of you continue to shine. And Mom and Dad, thank you for teaching me how to shine.
Thank you, Mr. Pizzo. We all giving virtual applause here. Those were beautiful and eloquent words, and really, I think, a true representation of what this evening is intended to be. So again, thank you very much. I'm going to go back to Assemblywoman Dunn and for a few more words, and then we'll introduce Stephanie.
Stephanie, it is a pleasure and honor to also present to you a joint resolution, meaning the Senate and Assembly came together in full agreement, a complete consensus on how fabulous and important you are. So congratulations. We talked about the importance of early childhood education a little bit earlier, and I could go on and on about some of the work that I'm doing on the Assembly Women and Children Committee, but there is so much more to do. And I want to make sure that you have that seat at the table, that we are taking the input from teachers. You know best what children need. You're with them every day, engaging them. And that's when we know when education works, right? When they're engaged and we have that relationship and connection, which of course starts at the early years. We know that care brings attachment. So thank you again, Stephanie. It's an honor. And I do hope to meet you on the green soon. That's my goal as well.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Child and Family Resource, for this award. I'm honored to receive this award. I'm a preschool supervisor and a lead teacher of an early preschool class at Children on the Green. I am blessed to be working at Children on the Green for the past 22 years. I started when I was in high school, my first job. It was fun and rewarding. After graduation, I started working full-time as an assistant teacher, enrolled at County College of Morris. At that point, I knew I wanted to become a teacher. I knew I had the patience to work with young children. I wanted to make a difference in children's lives, get them ready for kindergarten, because that's such an important part of their lives. Teaching is one of the greatest professions in this world. We help children grow into remarkable individuals they become. I studied at County College of Morris, going to school part-time while I was working. I made some long days, but I was very motivated. I got my associate degree in 2005. I am proud to be working in this field I work for Children on the Green and to be working for Children on the Green. Our center is a NACE accredited and a part of growing NJ kids. That means we always pay attention to the quality of our program. I learn new things of all times, new ideas for activities, new ways to set up my room so that the children can access learning materials. My assistant teacher and I feel empowered to experiment, so I feel that I'm always improving as a teacher. Another great thing about Children on the Green is that we provide childcare for children of all income. We partner with local homeless shelters, Homeless Solution, JBWS, and Family Promise of County College of Morris County. We are proud to reflect the diversity of our community. In our class, we have children of all incomes, children from different backgrounds. Children get to know children who are different from them, and they treat each other the same way they become friends. As an early childhood educator, I get to know my children and their individual needs. I have to understand them in order to teach them. I do that through observations. I also talk to them. I also like to build strong relationships with their parents to get full pictures of the child's lives at home to support parents in their parenting. When I partner with parents, we can work together to give the children what they need to be able to come to school and learn. What they need to be able to come to school. It takes time to figure out all about each children, but it's the most effective way to reach the children where they are. Last year, I was promoted to be a preschool supervisor. In this role, I supervise all the preschool classroom, make sure they have what they need and to help out when they need ideas to assist with activities. I enjoy being a mentor for newer teachers. Over all the years of teaching, I've developed a lot of practice and tried a lot of activities, and I can share those with others to help make them more effective. Children are the best part of being a teacher. I love seeing the children progress through the years, watching them learn something new and seeing them repeat things they have learned to their parents. I absolutely love what I do. Find it to be challenging and rewarding each and every day. I would like to thank a few people of all their support that they have given me throughout the years. I would like to thank my loving husband for all his support with my career. I want to thank my mom for her support. She also the reason why I became a teacher, going to her job, watching her teaching autistic kids. She taught me that teaching is not just a job. It is a passion. And also, I would like to thank my directors and coworkers. Andrew, thank you for being a great mentor. I appreciate all the support you have given me all the years working with you. Joanne, thank you for being supportive of all the staff, suggesting you things and ideas. Thank you for always sharing with me that you are pleased with my work I'm doing every day. And I would like to thank my assistants, Jennifer, for working with me and getting all my curriculum done each and every day. And finally, I would like to thank Child and Family Resource for the award. Thank you for everything that you have done for families and children and teachers. This award is meaningful because it honors the school that I started my career and all the children who have been in my classes. I am extremely honored and very grateful to receive this award. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephanie, and congratulations. And we can use some of our remote reactions to give you some additional applause. And I appreciate all the work that you're doing in the field for early childhood education. So we just heard from 3 truly remarkable human beings. They are clearly extraordinary role models and the epitome of our Shine Award. We'll cue the applause sound effects. I'd like to thank Christopher, Joseph, and Stephanie for their commitment to their profession. I'd like to thank all our honored guests for their kind words. I'd like to thank John Johnson Automotive Group and all our sponsors for their generous support, and Montclair State University for hosting on their Zoom platform. I'd like to thank our gala committee members for all their hard work coordinating and organizing. This evening truly could not have happened without their work. I'd like to thank Winter Long for sharing their talents. And I'd like to thank everyone who attended this evening. Your show of support is heartwarming. To quote the great Maya Angelou, I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. There were over 100 people registered for this evening, and for our virtual event, that outpouring of support is a testament to our 3 awardees and the incredible work that they do. And so now to finish the evening, a final set by Winter Long. Good night and thank you, everyone.
But we have one more song for you tonight, but I just wanted to say something. We have a 6th grader, Isabella, and she's in middle school, public school. And we are so amazed at the dedication of the teacher. So we want to thank you for your dedication. We think you're heroes, especially in this environment we're in right now. So thank you so much and congratulations. This is an original song. It's called Upturned, and it's about the times we're in. Thank you very much. Have a good
Thank you.
evening.
Good night, everyone.